Welcome viewers. We have been discussing about the business environment, that is a subject. As I was always mentioning, decision making is the most important part in the MBA, and unlike other disciplines, post graduation in business management is an interdisciplinary aspect. People coming from engineering, doctor, medicine or life sciences or physical sciences or computer sciences, or from commerce, arts, even performance arts, anybody who coming from such disciplines at the undergraduation, coming to the post graduation, they can do MBA, and all of them will be learning decision making in different given situations. So, in the business environment, we are going to discuss today how social environment is important for the business. As all of you are aware, micro environment is a direct environment which comes out of the interaction with the supplier or which the distributor or the agent, you interact directly with them, whereas macro environment you do not interact. Moreover, macro environment is the is not under the control of the businessman. He has to change according to the changing environment. Environment does not change, it is external, it is an external environment. So, we need to understand the environment. One who understands the environment well can do a better business. As Peter Drucker says, a businessman is like a captain running a ship in a ocean. Ocean allows you to sail. At the same time, ocean threatens you with cyclones and storms. Similarly, a businessman does business with people. People allow you to do business, but people also threaten you with storms and shocks. The storms here will be shocks. The shock can take place with the rejection of your product, hostility with your product, hostility with the businessman. I can give you one good example where a Israel company, they have made chocolates, and then they have thrown the chocolates from a helicopter and as a gift, as a complimentary, when the schools are doing activity. They thought the chocolates will be in the hands of the kids, they will taste it, people will taste the chocolates and it will be extraordinary, say demand will go up extraordinarily high. To their shock, nobody bought the chocolates, zero, virtually no demand at all after the chocolates are distributed. When they made the enquiry, it came that the chocolates have fallen in the hands of the people exactly at the time when entire nation was mourning the death of Golda Meir, their prime minister. So, the nationalism or the patriotism of Israel is such that they have affected the culture of the Israel social environment. So, this is the, then later they have apologized, after they have given a tendering a open apology to the public, people started buying their chocolates. So, that is the power of social environment. So, social environment cannot be ignored. We are going to discuss how this macro environment is going to affect the business. We are going to discuss three aspects. One is what are the characteristics of the society, let us not, all are known to us. What we have to understand is how it is related to my business, that is all. You do not have to learn characteristics of society. After all, at the MBA level, you know characteristics of society better than me, but how it is relevant to the business is important. Then we are going to discuss about social stratification and social factors influencing the business. This is the synopsis I am going to discuss. Most important characteristics of the people is the people. For the establishment of social relationship, group of people is necessary. New Zealand, you move around the country, you do not feel people, you do not find people. Australia, move around, you do not find the people. America, in fact, some of our Indians parents going to America and staying there, they come back with as a jocularly they say, how is America? It is like a curfew area, because in our curfew area in India, people will be shutting their house totally closed, every house will be closed. If anybody moves, police fellow will say get out. So, we know that. So, same place will have, same thing will happen in America in normal days also. Only when there is a work, they will take the car and go out. Walking on the road does not take place in winter at all. Only in summer you find people walking on the roads. So, you find, and people do not talk to each other. So, that is a social relationship there. So, people, number of persons for land, density of the population itself is low. So, what is important for a society is people, number. Likeliness, that means mutual recognition of belonging together is possible only with like-minded people. If you do not have like-minded people, you cannot be in the society. If your neighbor is fighting every day, either you change the house or you give it for rent and go elsewhere. So, you need to have like-minded people. Of course, differences are also important, because reciprocity is possible with differences, because when we say reciprocity, give and take, I give something to get something. That give and take will be there because you are different, I am different. So, slight differences can be there, but differences should not result in what do you call fight in such a way that nothing you can do it. Similarly, interdependence on people is key for the society, because survival of human beings is possible only through interdependence. If anybody thinks I do not care society, I want to live on my own, I can live by my own, it is impossible. That is where you have to give and take. What you give to the society and what you take from the society is quite important. Cooperation and conflict. Cooperation is required, but conflicts get new ideas. If everyone says whatever the chairman or secretary says, others also agree, then that society will become a dictatorial society. People argue, people discuss, democracy will be there, but at the same time you have cooperation becomes meaningful only when there are conflicts and discussions. So, that is also quite important. Society is a network of social relationships, that is what a philosopher Socrates said. So, you need to have a network of social relationship, and in society, society is permanent, you are not permanent, men may come and men may go, but society does not change, it is a perpetuality of the society. However, can you see the society with your eyes? No, it is an abstract concept. We do not see the society, it is only with the people. You can only see the president, a secretary or somebody. So, somebody represents the society, but society is an abstract concept, it is a web of social relationship. So, you need to remember that however, the society is also dynamic. No doubt culture is important, but culture also undergoes change. Old customs, traditions, folkways, mores, values, institutions, everything get changed. Our customs, values take place, yeah, there are some uncompromising value systems, but old systems will undergo change, new customs will come, and the comprehensive culture is the culture of the way of life of the members of the society. Each member may come from different culture, but society will have a comprehensive culture. Now, let us look the social stratification, because after all culture we have already discussed, but what is important in the society is, in the society not everyone is equal. If you think that everyone is equal, you are living in a imaginative world. People by their behavior itself, they are stratas, there are stratas in behavior. You know, social stratification, if you take based on the studies, economic studies, I have made some proportions and classifications, 6 classifications I have made. The first I would call them as people are inherently rich. Inherently rich means their forefathers are rich, their grandparents are rich, their parents are rich, therefore, he is rich. You are born with a golden spoon. For example, Scindia family, Madhavrao Scindia, Gayatri Devi, that family is a inherently rich family. VP Singh, former prime minister, they were inherently rich. Their culture is different. In India, 1% of the Indian population are inherently rich, whereas there are some people who became rich. For example, Ramoji Rao is a became rich. He was not rich when he was started his business, but today he is a rich man. You find Adani, Ambani, they became rich because Ambani's father Dhirubhai Ambani worked in a petrol pump. Today they are the rich people, they are becoming rich. So, they are about 5%, 5% of Indian population are today they are rich. And you know, upper middle class family around 6% are there. Upper middle class families means they are having a better standard of living, because their earnings are reasonably good, like they are not aristocratic families, but they have come up through either software salaries or through UGC scale salary, whatsoever, people are upper middle class. There are only about 6%, and you know this 6% plus 5% plus 1% total 12% are the people. There the 6% people are not having salaries on par with America, no doubt. If you take dollar value, let us say a research scholar in America gets a salary which a professor gets in India. Therefore, if you take dollar value, conversion value, ours are not rich. But if you take purchasing power parity theory, what is purchasing power parity? Purchasing power is important. With my salary as a professor, I can maintain a washerwoman, I can maintain a servant maid, I can have a car, I can have fridge, I can have TV, I can put my children in a good school, college, etc. So, such things are possible. I can own all such things. If the same thing are to be maintained in America, there my salary has to be 6 times more than what I get here. So, this is called purchasing power parity theory. Using purchasing power parity theory, Indians are on par with average American citizens. That is called the crux of for multinational companies. Entire world from different countries, multinational companies are coming to India only to market their non-essential commodities to this 12% population. Others cannot afford to buy such non-essential commodities. This is what main one. But working class, if you take 40% of Indian population are working class. Their means of achievement are not sufficient to maintain non-essential commodities. However, psychologically they are wedded with upper middle class. They want to copy upper middle class families. Therefore, through advertisements you are raising their desire levels, etc. So, if the working class people cannot afford to buy the non-essential commodities, but working class are aspiring to purchase non-essential commodities, this conflict is there. Ethically, if they earn money through means of achievement, it does not permit them to go for non-essential commodities. But the social mix point of view, they want to associate with themselves upper middle class. So, this particular working class is compromising the values sometimes. They are not compromising, they are in a conflict. That is the psychology today which is happening. The next comes is assertively poor. Assertively poor is different from naturally poor according to my classification. Naturally poor, if you believe in God, God only takes care of them. If you do not believe in God, nature only will take care of them. Nobody can feed them, nobody can bring them. They are 18% in the country. 18% of 1.4 crores, 140 crores population, 18% are they belong to naturally poor, their poverty is still there. But your government schemes, government beneficiaries, that nothing will go to them. Whereas, assertively poor man is a person who claims himself to be poor, that 30%, and this 30% people are, they read newspaper, they can gherav the collector, they can gherav the MLA, they can gherav the corporator, they will vote, they will go to the voting polling booth and vote, and they are assertive India. And that is the assertively poor people are dominating today by grabbing all the government welfare scheme benefits as such. So, this is the assertive India as such, this is a social stratification. Now, you can see they too want to be go associate with the working power class, but not with the poor. So, this is the major part we find. In addition to this, you find that this particular part, if you look into social stratification, why it is important to the business, what kind of advertisements you are making. If you advertise something for the working class people will not buy those products. If you say Nirma washing powder is advertises, it is meant for the working class, they advertise, they do not buy Nirma. Assertively poor fellow will buy the Nirma washing powder, whereas Surf Excel, which is advertised for the upper middle class families, that will be bought by working class people, because they consider themselves to be upper middle class, they do not associate with the lower middle class. So, this working class advertisement, while making the advertisement as a businessman, you must be able to distinguish this. Psychologically, people would like to associate with the next class, but not with the lower class. So, that part if you look into it, when you go for it, while advertising, when you make advertising, you must know this psychology, that is one point. The second point is, that means anything you want to advertise for the upper middle class, do not advertise for the upper middle class, you advertise for the upper becoming rich. For example, matrimonial, in the matrimonial, if you say elite matrimonial, if you advertise for the elite matrimonial, it is not the rich people who will use it, it is upper middle class people who use it, because they consider that they are above. That particular part we must remember while making the products. See, another example I will say package industry. Once upon a time, when shampoo, when I was young, about 20 years ago, 40 years ago, the shampoo bottle was costing around 200 rupees and we could not afford to buy, and only rich people were using shampoo. The moment they innovated the sachets, even rickshaw fellows started using only shampoo, but not the Shikakai. Today Shikakai or the Rita that you use, it is the upper middle class families they are using, because organic. They go for organic, health conscious through that. So, health conscious, organic, be careful about nature, environment, all such things today it is the upper middle class families and rich people are taking care. That is the reason people are ready to pay more money in buying naturally grown without fertilizers and pesticides. If vegetables are grown, we would like to buy them by paying higher amount. We do not want to use the plastic in only if you belong to the upper middle class families, whereas lower middle class families, they feel plastic is convenient than the non plastics. So, this is the difference between the stratification. We are not saying that these classes clash each other or conflict each other, they fight each other, no, they need not fight, but the psychology, sociology and the natural behavior, these three, they play a significant role in business, especially marketing. In marketing, which is part of your business, part of your course for MBA students, you should know how to make an advertisement copy. When you make an advertisement copy, whom are you intending, what is your target group and whom you should intend, how do you make the copy, that makes the difference. The advertisement which shows good olden days were days where people were for beedies, they were using Sridevi as a cinema celebrity for that long ago. Those days are gone. Today you find most of the advertisements are very professional, and that professionality comes from social stratification. So, that is important, with whom you are intending, what kind of business you are intending. Now, if you look to the social factors influencing the business, social factors we have identified about 18, 19 social factors I am going to list out, and these are all known to you, but they are having influence on the business. How? Caste and communities. Caste and communities are important in what do you say, doing the business, because you can find, especially in India, inherently business community, if you take, whether it is a Baniya community or whether it is Vaishya community, whether it is Shettiar in the Tamil Nadu or Bayani in the Gujarat, or you find Sheth in the north, they are inherently business community. Marwadi, they do the pan business. Pan business cannot be done so effectively by others, because the Marwadi gets himself involved in a small village. He goes to an unknown village. A Marwadi from Rajasthan comes and he does not stay in Hyderabad. He goes to a small village and puts up his pan business, and the farmer goes to him at the time of seeding or sowing at such time, and he takes loan from them, because when to give the loan, when to collect money, Marwadi knows perfect. There may be excessives by them. We are not talking about the negative behavior, we are talking about the positive behavior about the community. So, that is the point we have to remember, that the community is inherently in business community. Similarly, you find the community which are warriors. So, while advertising, copying, when you are making it, if you are going to advertise a what do you call a product with for a courageous person or whatsoever, normally we say we give it for the Sardarjis, because he is considered to be a warrior. So, whom do you use as a celebrity while advertising? You can use these things. You do not use an urban clan fellow to the what do you say advertise for a courageous product, like that you have to use. So, how do you use the social factors is very important. Family system, you can see, I can give you a very good example, like Indians have made a salt, they call it as Captain Cook, whereas a multinational company like Unilever, it is a British company, you know, they have advertised, what is the brand name? Annapurna. And you know the Babiji आपको कितना पसंद है, they will say నీ ఉప్పు తింటున్నాను, నేను మంచి ఉప్పు తీసుకురాకపోతే ఎట్లా. That is a sentiment between the Babiji and the others. You find that kind of relationship, you advertise more in India, because it is a family system is very strong here. Religion, marriage systems, social values, customs, traditions, beliefs, attitudes, education, social class, ethics, all such factors play a significant role. A businessman should be able to identify which social factor will be effective while making an advertisement copy, or while introducing a product, while introducing a what do you call product at a particular, which time we should go. For example, you expect the cinema to be released on Friday, cinema will not be released on Monday, because weekend is the period where with families people go out. So, every Friday you expect the cinema theatres to release the cinema, you do not do it on Monday. And you find every Akshaya Tritiya you find gold people to advertise much, all what you call the garment advertisements also come more during the festival time, they link with the festivals. So, that is the spirit with which we do for the social factors. And reference groups are very important in social factors. Reference groups are three types: primary reference group, secondary reference groups, and aspirational reference groups. Let us say primary reference groups. Primary reference group is your own family. You always say that what is the my father must approve, my mother must approve. If without telling father, mother, people do not buy the products, that is a primary group. Secondary reference group is peer group. Your classmate has purchased shirt, you would like to buy the same shirt, that is secondary reference group. And aspirational reference group is Virat Kohli is purchasing, I must also buy the same bat. So, if it is a bat, excellent. If it is a boost, it is energy, it is only symbolical, it is not reasonable. Like that you need to look into it, but that is also important, symbolic is also important. Role of status of a woman, workforce diversity, language, lifestyles, all these things play a role. Environmental pollution, expectations of social groups from business. What is the expectation of social groups in business? The expectation is you must be fair enough, your advertisement must be reliable, dependable. You must have seen Mac advertisement where Rahul Dravid is used, Mr. Dependable. You suggest which oil I should use for my vehicle. So, such celebrities also play a role. So, social factors play a significant role in deciding a good marketing decision or good recruitment decision. Recruitment also you can give examples while how do you use the social factors and what kind of decisions you make in management. Everywhere you need to take care of the social factors, otherwise you will not be a successful business decision maker. Thank you.